That's an ongoing process.
Yeah, right.
And the colorization, I had done some preliminary research on adding some color to those pages to make them more user-friendly and attractive to the reader. The reason they aren't on there is because there's an additional cost to that. I don't know what the additional cost is. I have not been able to get a hold of the gentleman to find that out. But the idea was that maybe we could get a benefactor to pick up the additional cost for colorization beyond what is currently the board is contributing or paying for those pages. So there wouldn't be any additional cost to the board. It would be picked up by either the Alumni Association, a benefactor, or through some other means, so there wouldn't be any additional expense to the board.
You also made a suggestion of symbols in some of the...
Yeah, some of the...
She felt that that was a good idea, so she's going to explore that.
Yeah.
She feels that that's something that's possible.
Put some, a pencil here, an apple there, so that you know they're educational pages.
Right.
It sends the message to the reader that when they pick it up, that they're about education.
She feels that that can take place.
Okay. Thank you for following up on that.
Good suggestion. You had met with Mr. Rodriguez, and you two had a number of things there that we could chew on. So that was good.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Board of old business and old business.
If I could, Mr. President, I'd like to give the board as close an update as I can with all the projects that are going on for the opening of school. The fire alarm system at the high school, they have been doing the testing. They're to the point of getting close to having the final test on it. That will definitely be in place by the opening of school. The window project at the middle school, we have had our solicitor working with us to get the contractor to finish up that project. I will report that as of Wednesday, the contractor was on site at the middle school to start working on trying to finish up the punch list items that need to be completed. I know that our solicitor, as well as Dana Ostrowski, who he brought on to assist him, have been working and have been reaching out, and as a result of their contact, all of a sudden the contractor is starting to move, get things done. On the windows for the high school project, for the high school itself, the project on the high school, we met the other day with the architect. They have their designs together. We're just about ready. They're going out for final measurements and everything. We're just about ready to come to the board to go to bid so that we can get that project out and get it working during the school year in the fashion it was done with the high school and the middle school last year. With regard to the sound system is complete. They were out testing. The only part that I believe has not yet been tested is the stadium, because there's been so much rain. And there is one part that they know they have to fix what they did, but it's all, with as much rain as we've had, they've held it. So that will be, though, ready for the opening of school. The kitchen at the high school. The kitchen at high school was supposed to have been completed by this past Monday. It is not. The holdup on the kitchen has been the block work in the kitchen where they're cutting the new doorways through. That block work did arrive on site, I believe it was Wednesday morning. We met this morning with the contractor. He's assured me that it will take 4 days. I apologize, it was Tuesday morning when I met him. Block was there. It will take him 4 days to set the block, and he is aware that the building is available. I made it very clear to him, as well as with the architect. The building is available if he so chooses to work on Saturdays and Sundays. Of course, at no extra cost to us, but at his cost. He assured us that by next Friday, all of the work will be done other than the punch list items. I spoke to our cafeteria director, and he has reached out to the Board of Health, and he is getting them scheduled to come in either the 29th, 30th, or 31st. The kitchen line will be available for use for the opening of school. It's not quite where we were, but it was neither the contractor nor anyone's fault other than they just could not get the block because it's a special type of block that we have in there, and it did arrive, so they're getting it installed. On the playground enhancement that we've done, the two courtyard schools, they have been working. They have been putting some of the rubber down. Of course, again, with the rain we've had recently where they've got the soil dug up, they have to let the water dissipate, get it out of there before they start going in to lay the rubber down. We did have a meeting, Mr. Oliver, the engineer, myself, Mr. Killian, and Frank at the third school, and that is going to be coming. Hopefully I will get the final numbers and bring that to you for an approval next Thursday so that that project can begin. It is designed to be, it will be done while the children are there. It is not an issue because they're going to do, Mr. Oliver worked out with them a schedule in terms of how we would like it done so that the outside facilities can be used by the children while they're doing it. I believe they were saying it would take about 2 weeks to do it total, but they're trying to get all the numbers down so that it stays within the amount that was granted in the that we have in the preschool education aid that we have put aside for that. So that's moving along well. The 2 schools should be done, again, except for punch list items, little cleanup thing. That should be done before the opening of school. The other project will begin once school opens, and it'll be able to be done prior to the weather changing over and not being able to work outside. And that's my update.
Mr. President, I have one piece of old business. The board, expressed some desire to know the costing of putting golf back in play and also tennis. We did some research. As indicated once before, the golf would cost about $10,500. We have approximately $6,700 at this point. That donated by community organization. We also looked at the tennis. I went over to the courts. I looked at the courts. I feel that the courts could be utilized for practice. We could not play another team on those courts. Also, there are some additional courts in the community that could probably be used if we request the use of it. All of the games would be played away. There are some cracks that need to be looked at, but Chris and Mr. Kenman they are looking into what it would cost to fill in some of those cracks. The probability is, again, they could practice on those courts. That also would be about $10,000 to $11,000 for girls and for boys each. So that's something we can discuss.
Are you saying 20 to 22,000?
Yes. Yes. And Billy Wright has done a good job in getting the information. He feels, based on what we do, he could probably put some competitive games together for the tennis. Now, I have to hold up a minute because are they playing tennis the same season?
Yeah, girls is the fall,
Okay, that's what I thought.
boys will be the spring.
Yeah. How long has soccer been that the girls and boys play the same season?
Soccer,
Since I didn't go.
80,
Is that right?
about 4, 85,
At my time, the boys played in one season and the girls played
No,
on the other side.
5.
Well, in your time, there weren't any girls.
Well, I'm not going to answer that. Okay, so that's information. That's information.
Questions,
Yes.
Mr. President. Mr. Oberg, in some of the attachments that were sent to us, there was something mentioned about gymnasium floor.
Yes, the gymnasium floor, the roof in the gym had a leak in it. We reported to the insurance company has been involved. What occurred was, they went up on the roof, found that it wasn't properly put down, it's being covered under insurance, that's being repaired. Water came in on the gym floor, you started to have some buckling on the court, on the wood. The insurance company, again, was going to cover that. They sent out a company and started doing what they normally would do, which is sanding down the floor. When they were sanding down the floor, because your floor, I believe, is the original floor that you had in the gym when it was put in, when they were sanding it, all of a sudden there became open spots in the wood because you were sanding down below what you can take that floor to. We then contacted the insurance company. The insurance company, we twisted arms, they've agreed to replace the entire floor. Which is, right now, the floor cost for that is $238,000. The initial process that they were following was costing about $38,000. We have had discussions with, they have awarded the contract. They are awarding the contract. I would not do it because for me to be able to do it, one, I would have had to go into bid, or two, declared emergency, which is not that easy to do. Get the board involved in terms of adopting resolutions just to go to the point that I can chase down a contractor. The contractor has already ordered the wood. His approximate, we have worked out the calendar with Mr. Wright. The gym floor should be in place for the basketball teams to use. We are aware that the gym floor itself, the gym itself will not be able to be used until approximately, I believe, I don't have the calendar right in front of me, but I believe it was the first week in December, last week in November, first week in December, because when you put a new gym floor down, they first have to get the wood into the gym. They have to check the moisture level of the wood. You can only put it down, and it was further delayed because when we pulled up some of the wood to see, we noticed that the mastic, since the building was put up, we had to take the mastic, send it out to be tested. The positive thing is the mastic came back as not containing any asbestos, which had they found asbestos there, we would have had closed off that area of the building completely to remove it. We fortunately came back where the asbestos did not show up in any of the testing, so the wood has been ordered. The school is aware, Mr. Wright is aware of, but the nice thing is you're going to get a brand new gym floor, and it'll cost you your deductible on your insurance policy, which, like I said, right now the quote is $238,000 is the contract, and it's a maple floor identical to the original floor that you had put in when the gym was put in. Well, they'll do the striping that's required. I don't know if they'll do well, let's put it this way. It will have an Indian head, but I don't know if I'm going to force the insurance company to.
$238,000.
Whoa,
I think we can do 200.
Well, the whole job's $238. You can kind of twist it. The insurance
But
companies aren't pretty
that
good.
is something that's been worked on all summer long, because when the leak first came down, they did come in, they sanded it down, they went through fine, but our employees noticed after they sanded it the first time, they were coming back to do it a second time. They walked in the area that they had sanded, and it was like walking on a sponge. You didn't want to walk too hard because you knew you were going to go right through. Well, when they came to do the second sanding to get it down, they went through. So,
Thankful for the rain.
yes.
My question is for you or Dr. Johnson, Mr. President, and/or Mr. Benson. How does this affect gym classes?
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll
all
let you
that-
finish the rest of it.
I'm sorry, I apologize for cutting you off. No, that's something that has been rescheduled, we moved some classes.